Hello, hello, hello. Hola, hola, hola. My name is Carlos, Wishing Monster. I am a social worker. I work for Make-A-Wish Arizona, granting wishes, and I love to travel. So all my videos are about my job, my previous experience with the airline industry, hotel industry, my trips, and my life in general. So if you're new to my channel or you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please like my videos, and welcome. So this is a two-part video. So I did one video, and I decided to make a second one because it was just gonna be too long. So the original video that I made was about a trip that I took to Israel, and I want to say it was about almost 20 years ago. So you'll see the fashions, the decorations of the hotel, the inside of the plane that we took, very different than the planes that we fly now. So it's fun to watch. I also have footage that I took with an 8mm camera, which I transferred to digital format, and I cut some of the pieces. I was going to have a voiceover over the original video, but I decided to keep the original sound, keep everything original. I inserted some messages so you know where I am, certain things like that, so you will see. And the reason why it's gonna be two videos is because I was starting to do the intro for that video after I did all the footage, after I put the footage together. And I realized that just the intro was gonna be too long and the video was just gonna be way too long. So I'm just going to tell you how this trip happened. As you know, or you may not know, I used to work for Virgin Atlantic Airways. And we, at Christmas time, we used to get free airline tickets from other airlines, from like all the airlines at the Boston airport. I used to work at the Boston airport. So all the airlines at the airport will give us free tickets on their flights, and we will give them free tickets. We used to get a lot because at the time, Virgin Atlantic had the best business class in the business, and all the other airlines really wanted to fly with us. And you may be asking, like, why did we want to get these free tickets, even though we flew pretty much for free with all the airlines? The reason is that we usually got like a free allotment of tickets on Virgin Atlantic. And then with the other airlines, we pretty much had an agreement with almost every airline in the planet. And we got what they call, I think they still do, ID 90 or ID 75, which meant basically 90% off or 75% off. I don't remember of which fare, but it's pretty cool. 90% is almost free. But these passes that we got for Christmas were completely free. So, and they usually came with an upgrade to first class, so they were a little bit nicer than the regular tickets that we got. And also this structure of ID 90 or ID 75, our parents usually got free passes with Virgin Atlantic, and they will get like ID 75s with pretty much any airline in the country, in the world. So this Christmas, it was my first Christmas working for Virgin Atlantic. My friend Jennifer, one of my coworkers, she won tickets with El Al, the airline from Israel. I think at the time that was either the last year that El Al flew out of Boston, or it had just recently stopped, because I think El Al require army escort or police escort for their plane at landing or takeoff, and I think the airport couldn't accommodate and couldn't guarantee all that safety, so El Al decided not to fly out of Boston anymore. In fact, I don't think I ever saw an El Al flight out of Boston, but we still had those passes for that year. So I usually got two. They didn't want you to travel alone. So they were able to use them for you and a spouse, or for you and another airline employee. So my friend Jennifer got the tickets with El Al, and she didn't have a spouse. And so she invited me, and we planned the trip with a couple of other co-workers. We spent a couple of days, literally a couple of days, in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem, and then we flew to Cairo. and spent a couple of days there too. When I say a couple of days, I need to remember, but it was a very short trip because that's how we did a lot of our trips. You were always allowed to trade shifts with people at the airline. So a lot of people will work like back to back shifts, one at the beginning of one week and at the end of another one. So they will have like 5-6 days off together. And I really couldn't do that because I had a full-time job during the day and I worked in the evening. So I really couldn't pick up a lot of shifts, but I could pick up shifts on the weekend. But some of my other coworkers, there was one girl in particular, I remember. I think she was in Europe or an international destination weekly. She was going always somewhere. And we also got really, really great discounts at hotels, almost free. So it was really fun. So you're gonna see this video. Like I said, you're gonna see the fashions. It's very old, but I thought it would be fun. I imagined all the things that I would have been able to do if I had a cell phone or a digital camera, and it was an interesting trip. It took a while. We had to get our visas to go to Israel, which wasn't an easy process. We flew out of JFK in New York, and it was a nonstop flight. Remember, checking in was pretty intense. They had the X-ray, even back then, like I said, about 20 years ago, the X-ray every piece of luggage. They interview every single passenger, and they knew that there were 3 of us on that flight traveling together. So we each got interviewed by 3 different people, and those 3 people got together to corroborate our stories, make sure that we make sense. So it was pretty intense, but it was really fun. We flew out of JFK into Tel Aviv, and then we flew to Cairo. And then when I do my Cairo video, I'll tell you that it was quite an adventure to get back to the United States. I think it took us over 24 hours. It's a fun story. So watch the next video, my trip to Israel, and like this one. And thank you for watching.